Let's move to expert-level topics. What is the Microsoft Power Platform Center of Excellence?
The Power Platform Center of Excellence, or COE, is a set of tools, dashboards, and best practices provided by Microsoft to help organizations govern, monitor, and scale Power Platform usage across the enterprise.
How do you implement governance and DLP policies in Power Automate?
Governance is implemented using data loss prevention policies from the Power Platform Admin Center. DLP policies control which connectors can be used together, helping prevent data leakage between business and non-business systems.
Can you explain the overall architecture of Power Automate?
Power Automate is built on Azure. It uses connectors to interact with services, triggers to start flows, actions to process logic, and Azure infrastructure for execution, security, monitoring, and scalability.
How do you secure endpoints when using HTTP actions?
I secure endpoints by using OAuth 2.0, API keys, Azure AD authentication, and by restricting access using IP filtering, managed identities, and secure connections where possible.
What is the difference between API limits and throughput limits?
API limits control how many requests can be made to a connector or service, while throughput limits control how many actions or runs can execute in a given time period.
How do you optimize a flow for large data processing?
I use pagination, filter queries, concurrency control, parallel branches, and minimize unnecessary actions. I also process data in batches to avoid performance issues.
How do you integrate Power Automate with Azure Functions?
Power Automate can call Azure Functions using the HTTP connector. Azure Functions handle complex logic or heavy processing, while Power Automate manages orchestration.
What is the role of Azure API Management in Power Automate?
Azure API Management acts as a gateway that secures, monitors, throttles, and manages APIs used by Power Automate, especially for enterprise integrations.
How do you handle 429 and 503 throttling errors?
I handle these errors using retry policies, delay actions, exponential backoff, and proper error handling scopes to ensure the flow recovers gracefully.
How do you build custom connectors in Power Automate?
Custom connectors are built by defining the API, authentication method, request and response schemas, and then publishing the connector for reuse within the organization.
How do you migrate Power Automate flows between environments?
I migrate flows using solutions. Flows are exported from one environment and imported into another using environment variables for configuration.
What are environment variables and why are they important?
Environment variables store configuration values like URLs or IDs, allowing the same solution to work across dev, test, and production without changes.
What is the difference between managed and unmanaged solutions?
Unmanaged solutions are used in development and allow full customization. Managed solutions are used in production and restrict direct modifications.
Can you explain ALM in Power Platform?
ALM, or Application Lifecycle Management, covers development, testing, deployment, and maintenance of Power Platform solutions using environments, solutions, pipelines, and version control.
How do you trigger a flow from a Power App and return data back?
A flow is triggered from Power Ops using the Power Ops trigger, and output parameters are returned back to the app using response actions.
How do you use OData filters in Dataverse or SharePoint?
OData filters are used in get items or list rows actions to query data efficiently using conditions like equals, greater than, or starts with.
How do you monitor flows at enterprise scale?
I use Power Platform Admin Analytics, COE dashboards, Azure Monitor, and alerts to track failures, performance, and usage trends.
How do you integrate Power Automate with systems like SAP or Oracle?
Integration is done using premium connectors, on-premises data gateways, or custom APIs depending on the system architecture.
What are best practices for building high-performance flows?
Best practices include reducing actions using trigger conditions, enabling concurrency wisely, avoiding nested loops, and handling errors properly.
How do you implement retry policies in Power Automate?
Retry policies are implemented using action settings, custom delays, and scopes to retry failed steps while maintaining control over execution.
That concludes the expert-level discussion. Thank you, Shiva.
Thank you.
Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.